Joining me now is UFC featherweight Jamall Pretty Boy Emmers, who we haven't seen fight since earlier this year at UFC 248 when you dropped that fight to Giga. A very controversial split decision loss there. How you doing, my friend? Thank you for the time.
Hey, I'm doing fine, man. And yourself?
Really good. What have you been up to since then? Because that's been 3 months now since we saw you inside of the octagon. What has life been like during this pandemic?
I've just been training, doing the same thing I've been doing, getting better, helping my teammates get better. Actually, one of my teammates, Bobby Green's fighting next week, fighting Clay Guida. So I'm helping him get ready for his fight.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to that. How's Bobby looking in camp?
Bobby looking like vintage Bobby Green right now. I think he gonna finish Clay.
Yeah, that's an exciting fight. A couple of guys who really like to get after it. So I'll be making sure to tune into that one here. As far as the pandemic goes, how did it affect what you guys can do at Pinnacle? Are you able to get into the gym, or have you had to get creative with your training?
Well, we had to get a little creative with our training. Like, we're at Icon MMA now in Moreno Valley, so we're not at our home gym, so we get in work there. Actually, we Sam, that's the owner of the gym, he's gonna be my new striking coach here on out. He's added a lot of stuff to my game so far in these past 2 months I've been working with him. So I'm just excited to see what the next couple months have.
Do you still have Caldwell and who was the other individual there? Curtis Millender, I know, is a training partner of yours. Are you still with those guys as well?
Yeah, I still train with them guys. Yeah, still train with the guys at CSW. We just added Sam to the mix, so that's just going to be more tools for me.
Do you have a chip on your shoulder after that loss? Because I don't know if you saw the total strikes and everything afterwards. I mean, judging has been questionable for a while now. I have to imagine that you have a bad taste in your mouth after that loss.
Mm, at first I did, but I understand this. It's how it goes sometimes. In sports, it happens. Like it's not. It didn't just happen to me. It happens a lot. So I just can't let that happen again. Like I'm like, I guess I'll take part responsibility for it because it was times in the fight when I went back and watched. I was like, I could have finished him there. So I can't be mad at the judges. Like it's humans make errors, right? They're not computers. So I'm not upset about it. Like it's just shit I gotta learn from, I guess.
Did you feel that when the judges were getting ready to render their decision, you felt pretty confident, though? I got to imagine that you're going to get your hand raised. That must have been a difficult pill to swallow in cage after. What were your emotions like?
Yeah, like after I was just like, okay, wow, that just happened. Like I said before, like I don't like I'm not the type of guy that just dwells on stuff. I just like at the moment I was upset. I was like confused also, but now that it happened, it like is behind me now, so I just got to move forward.
Yeah, you were supposed to fight undefeated fighter Evlov, but he was in a motorcycle accident leading up to that fight. Did that play into your performance at all? I mean, preparing for one guy then having to fight another. Did that have any effect?
Not at all, because the guy I fought previous was a similar style to Giga, so it wasn't too much of an adjustment to make. It was
Yeah.
just like, okay, just fight pretty much the same game plan I had when I fought the other guy. A little bit, but it's pretty much the same game plan.
So Evlov, I believe he's fighting July 25th. Are you keeping your eyes glued on that in case they need a short notice replacement?
Oh, most definitely. I'm making sure my weight's down. Like, if the UFC is listening to this right now, I'm 159, so I'm ready to go. Like, I'm close. I'm close to weight. Whenever they want me, I'm just ready to go. Like, they can just call me.
What do you normally walk around at? Are you lower than usual because you're ready for a fight?
Oh, I'm lower than usual. I'm usually probably like 10 pounds heavier. But I've been, watching my weight. Like I have time. Like I'm not. Like I also coach, so I'm not coaching as much since the gym shut down. So I have time to really watch everything I eat like throughout the whole day. So like my weight has been fine. So I can go whenever.
Don't want to speak for you, but I would assume that you really have your eyes focused on making a run at featherweight here and staying in that division. But if the UFC wanted you to have a short notice fight against someone in the lightweight division, would you consider it, or is that something that you're not at right now?
Most definitely. Those I always look at weight classes, mine and above mine, because you never know. Like you said, they'll call me whenever, so I'm always looking at 45 and 55.
Okay. You know, you're one of only two men to beat Corey Sandhagen. It was a while ago now, and he ultimately ended up dropping down a weight class shortly after that fight with you. Were you surprised at the fight, the way it turned out with Sterling, or did you feel like Sterling is a little bit more of an elite bantamweight at this point?
I was surprised at how fast it ended. Yeah. Cause I know Corey's game. Like I've been in there with him, so I know he'll fight. Like he fight out of bad positions, like really well. So I was like, oh, he'll get out of that. And like when he sunk it in, I was like, oh, whoa, that was quick. Because I know how good Corey is, but I know how good Aljo is also. So like I was surprised that it happened that fast. You know.
Right. Well, clearly things for you are looking up. It wasn't that long ago that you lost to Julian Erosa at Contender Series. Then you reeled off 4 straight wins, and all 4 of them were a finish before ultimately this fight against Giga. Tell me, how much better are you now versus the fighter 2 years ago?
I'm more complete now. I think like me 2 years ago, I was like just starting to come into my like striking game. Like I was just starting to figure out like certain things. So like 2 years ago, yeah, I was still kind of green on my feet. I was more of a grappler, but now I'm more comfortable everywhere now since I've been training with Sam and training with Bobby Green more. Like it's just like my game just jumped a lot.
Was there one big lesson that you could point to that you learned from that setback to Erosa, or was that just a situation where it is what it is, you got caught and you move on?
No, I got caught. Like this, like the I blocked it. It just the foot wrapped around. Like this is just one of those things. Like I feel like I got some bad luck or something, but it's like it is what it is. You know, like I don't. I just take it as a learning lesson and just move on.
Mm. Now, to get back to this featherweight division, the championship matchup that I know a lot of fans were looking forward to, hoping it would get rematched, has been booked. It's going to be down in Fight Island. You got the new champ, Volkanovski, taking on the former champion, Holloway. How do you see that fight going? Do you think Holloway's going to get a win back, or do you think we're going to see Ann Still here?
I mean, Volkanovski is a smart fighter, like super smart fighter. I think if Max makes the right adjustments, he can beat him. But it's a toss up because I've been in a room with Volkanovski before. I've seen the guy train. Like he's a very smart guy. He's a smart fighter. So it's a reason why he's a champ.
Size-wise, how I got to imagine you're bigger than him. He's, not to take anything away from the champ, but he's not the biggest featherweight that I've seen. Am I right in saying that, or is he still pretty thick and stocky?
I mean, he's thick. Like I would say height wise, like I can see the top of his head probably, but like he a thick one though. Like he got some size on him. He's definitely a solid 45er.
Yeah, well, he's clearly the man, hence the reason why he's the champion. I mean, Abu Dhabi, what Dana White and the UFC are doing and having this Fight Island is amazing. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Is there anyone that you have in mind that you feel like would make sense for your next fight? Do you maybe want to get that rematch against Giga, or anyone else come to mind?
I mean, that rematch is going to happen. Like, if he keeps winning, all I got to do is do my part and win, and, like, we'll meet. I hope he makes it to the top 15 so we can fight. So I can fight when he has a number next to it. Honestly, I'm praying that he makes it to the top 15 so we can fight in the rematch.
How would a second fight turn out?
I have nobody, like, I want to fight right now. It's whoever the UFC want me to fight, I'm fighting. Like, I feel like I gotta dig myself out of a hole a little bit. So, like, so whoever they want me to fight, I'm fighting.
How would a second fight with Giga turn out? How would you get your hand raised?
Oh, well, I'm probably finishing this time because I see what I see. I can see how, like, they might have been like, okay, we'll give them this. But after looking at the numbers, it was like If they would have gave me if they would have gave it a draw, I would have understood. One round we was even. First round he got me, in the second round I just beat him up. I didn't go to the hospital that night, by the way. He did. You can read the reports. So, like, I can finish him. I know I can. No disrespect to him, like, but I feel like I'm better than him.
Jamall, where do you see yourself a year from now, 2 years from now in the UFC? I'm assuming probably in that top 10. Where do you feel like you will end up here ultimately?
Yeah, top 10 is like, especially if I start fighting. Like, if I could get me some fights, two or three fights, get some good solid wins over some good guys, I can climb my way back up. It's just like I just stumbled a little bit. That's why I just feel like I just stumbled a little bit. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I feel like a few solid wins and it'll get me right back on track.
Well, clearly nothing but a bright future for yourself here moving forward. I really appreciate the time discussing, a potential fight here with you moving forward as the UFC continues to put together a lot of great cards here during this pandemic and we don't have live sports. Before I let you go, if there's anyone that you'd like to thank or any sponsors that you may have or plug your social media, the floor is yours.
Oh, yeah. Social media, Pretty Boy Pretty Boy Emmers on Instagram. I don't have Twitter. Jamall Pretty Boy Emmers on Facebook. Just want to shout out, like, my teammates. My boy Bobby's fighting this weekend, so I want everybody to tune in for that. So I'm like just focused on just getting this guy prepared as much as I can, like mimicking Clay as much as I can, even though I'm like a lot taller than him. But I'm trying my best, So just that, I just want to shout my boy out. Want to make sure he gets this W.